Hi, Katie. How are ya?
Hi, I'm doing okay. Um, yeah, I'm doing all right today.
I'm glad that you're here. Um, how are you feeling kind of as we start this session?
I guess that I'm okay. I just kind of feel a little stuck, like I'm not moving forward in my life. Every time I try to make progress, I feel like something's pulling me back.
Okay. Okay. That sounds pretty frustrating. It must be tough to feel like you're taking one step forward and two steps back all the time. Can you tell me more about what that something kind of is? Is there a situation kind of happening or kind of more about what's going on?
Yeah, it's like this voice in my head telling me that I'm not good enough, that I'm not capable of like achieving what I want.
Mm,
It's just been there for as long as I can remember, really.
okay. Okay. So there's this voice telling you that you're not good enough. Is it your voice? Does it have a name? Is it someone else? Is it just kind of like your conscience you feel? Tell me more about that.
I don't know. I guess it's just like the voice. Like it's always been there
Mm.
and I've never really given it a name.
Okay. Um, do you think that it would be helpful for you to kind of maybe give that voice a name today? Something that allows you to separate it from your identity, right? So it feels less like it's you and more like it's something else that's trying to kind of influence you and your thoughts.
Yeah, I guess makes sense. I guess we could do that.
Yeah. Okay. So why don't we take a moment and, what do you imagine this voice might look like if it were a person or a character, or what form would it take? What color, a shape, what name would you give it? Give me some insight about that.
I think it kind of sounds silly, but like I picture it like a shadow, kind
Mm.
of like lurking over me. Like it's always dark. It's a little bigger than me, and it's like not a loud voice, but it's just
Hmm.
persistent.
Okay. So this shadow, you mentioned it's persistent and dark, but it's not loud. It's almost like it's trying to kind of convince you that it knows kind of best about what you're capable of.
Yeah, exactly. Like it makes me doubt myself. Like maybe
Okay.
I'm not as capable as I think.
Yeah. Okay. That sounds pretty exhausting. So, what if instead of seeing this shadow as the truth teller of who you are, maybe we could think about it a different way. Like maybe it's just a part of your story. Like um what would it feel like or be like to reframe that shadow or that story a little bit, to acknowledge the shadow and to just kind of have those thoughts and let them pass without letting it define the whole thought or the whole feeling that you get. So instead of letting it kind of take over your identity, just letting it kind of be a part of the process and letting it pass.
Yeah, I think that could work.
Hmm.
Um, but I don't know how to do that. It's
Hmm.
just so loud sometimes that even when I like try to move past it, like I just can't. It's just so
Okay.
loud.
Yeah, I think that's completely understandable. It's pretty tough sometimes, when something has been with you, or that you've been listening to something for so long, it does feel part of your identity, right? It becomes a part of yourself. So maybe we can try it. Let's take kind of the shadow out of the driver's seat for a minute, and maybe we can ask, who are you if the shadow isn't talking? Who are you outside of the shadow? What's something about you that feels true and strong to you as a person, to your identity, that the shadow doesn't define?
Um, I guess that I'm someone who keeps trying. Even
Okay.
when things get hard, like I still show up.
Uh-huh.
I don't always succeed, but I never give up completely.
Yeah, that's super great. That's a great quality to have. You keep going even when things are difficult. So what if we start seeing that determination as kind of the middle ground of your story, the heart of your story, something you can build on instead of the doubts that it's initially causing.
Yeah, it's actually kind of like empowering.
Yeah.
I feel like I could have more control over my story than I thought and how I normally would think. I feel like I could have more control over it.
Yeah, exactly. That's actually kind of what we're going for. So, what if every time that shadow or that voice kind of shows up, you remind yourself of your resilience and that you're separate from your shadow, right? You don't have to give it power, you don't have to fight it, fight with the thoughts directly. Just kind of gently shift your focus back to the parts of you that are capable and are strong. That way the thoughts, the shadow, that voice might still be there, but it's not in charge anymore. You're just letting it pass.
Yeah, I think that I could try that. I should try that. It might be hard at first, but I like the idea of, I'm the one who decides like what my story is and like what is happening.
Yeah, yeah. So to put that in different perspectives, you are absolutely the author of your own story, right? The shadow, the voice, the thoughts might still make its appearance, show its ugly head. But, if you have the pen, you're ultimately the writer, and you get to kind of decide how the next chapter goes for you. That shadow, those thoughts, that voice doesn't really have power over you anymore.
Yeah, yeah. That makes me feel, a little more hopeful.
Yeah,
Like I've got more control than I realized. I like that.
good,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
I'm
well, thank you.
Yeah, I'm so glad that, you've kind of had a little bit of a shift in your perspective or mindset. It's powerful and you'll go far kind of thinking that way and just shifting, taking back control a little bit. So, let's definitely keep exploring together kind of as we go along, and I hope to see you next week.
Thank you so much.
Of course. See you later.
Bye.